viewers to BNI Sunrise today morning. You are welcome to BNI TV Africa, and on BNI TV Africa we feature stories from entrepreneurs that are part of the Business Network International, and we feature businesses from Africa, within Africa, and we share their amazing stories. Most of the people you see on this platform are members of Business Network International, but every now and then we will have that extra person that has something else to do that's not part of BNI. BNI is one of the largest referral networking organizations in the world, and it's placed in many countries in Africa, and one of them is Uganda. So today we are coming to you live from Kampala, Uganda, Fairway Hotel, and this is a special feature on BNI TV Africa. My name is Sharon Tumusiime. I'm a member of BNI, and I am your host this morning. And today we have an amazing panel with amazing ladies that are really ready to share their story. It is March, the month of March 2024, and the month of March we celebrate women. So today's episode is a special Women in Business feature on BNI TV Africa. And so welcome with me to BNI TV Africa this morning are three amazing women in business who are members of BNI. They are Ugandan ladies, and they are here to share some insights even as we celebrate the month of women. You are most welcome, ladies. And together with us today we have Dr. Jen Kayondo of Route International, rounding up the ages. That is what it is in full, where they do soft skilling, really essentially. We'll hear a little bit more about that. You're most welcome, Dr. Jen.
Thank you.
Yes, and right next to her is Florence Bagonza and Sereko of Eliwares, founder or CEO of Eliwares. Yes, of Eliwares, and they sell luxurious sanitary ceramics, all those bathroom fixtures, bathroom as well as home. I think you do tiles as well. Yeah. Yes, so that's what she is. So you're welcome, Florence.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and together with us today, it gives us great pleasure to have with us on the panel Dr. Barbara Ofwono Buyondo of Victoria's Schools. Yeah, it's Victoria's Schools, and she's going to share a little bit about her story. She is the founder of Victoria's Schools. I almost said Victoria's International. I think I should add the international.
Victoria's Education Services.
I wanted to add international to it.
You're already international.
You're already international, so I wouldn't be wrong. Yes, Victoria's Education Services. So you are most welcome, ladies, to BNI TV Africa.
Thank you.
Yes, so I just want to give each of you an opportunity to just talk about your business the way we do it in BNI. 20 seconds each of you. Tell us who you are and what you do. And yes, over to you, Dr. Jen.
Yes. So, as Sharon has said, Dr. Jen Kengeye Kayondo. Most people just call me Dr. Jen. I'm a medical doctor. I retired from a full career in health research and started this business of skilling young people, youth, skilling workforces, and skilling professionals in a particular set of skills that you don't quite get at school, what we call soft skills. These include your interpersonal skills, your self-management skills, your people skills like communication, time management, emotional intelligence, how you use your power if you are in charge of people, how you lead, how you work as a team. So all those skills that make you efficient and sufficient, and yet they are not taught at school. We run it as a business for one reason, because we want to make people get into the habit of paying for these skills. So that's why we structured it as a business rather than a social enterprise.
All right.
Because if something is valuable for you, you need to be able to buy it, to pay for it. So that's how it is structured. We work in secondary schools, universities, but now most importantly, we are working with all sizes of businesses, because the soft skill level of your workers determines your bottom line.
Yeah.
That's what's
true.
like.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, and you're welcome once again, Dr. Jen. Over to you, Florence.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sharon. My name is Florence Bagonza and I represent here Eliwares Limited, which is a sanitary ware, ceramics, bathroom fixtures supplying company. I'm not the founder. I'm actually second generation for the business. It was founded by my parents. And so at Eliwares, we believe that a good shower in the morning sets up your day. And so that's why it was actually founded, so that why do you have to wait to travel to a hotel in order to experience a good shower, in order to get a good shower experience? So we started by, that's why it was founded. And so now we want people to actually have beautiful shower experiences even in their homes, because your home is your safe space, not the hotel. Your home first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
Amazing. Over to you, Dr. Barbara.
Meet Dr. Barbara Ofwono Buyondo, founder, principal of Victorious Education Services. What do we do at Victorious Education Services? We nurture this generation through nursery education, primary education. We also offer boarding facility. And now the latest thing that we are on is the online learning, where learning can be got wherever the children are. Is your child sick, admitted in hospital, ready to do a bone marrow, whatever the case may be, learning must continue. Are you transferred up country? Are you in an NGO and you're thinking of giving quality education to a group of children? Our online is the best fit for you.
Wow.
Before I go off, please note that teaching is my call and teaching is my profession. Thank you.
Wow, yes, I love it. So we have a diverse group of ladies here with us. And like we said, today is the Women in Business Future. And the month of March is we celebrate women and their achievements and their extraordinary contribution to our lives, to our lives in different ways. So we are celebrating mothers, wives, daughters, sisters, friends, name them. If they are women, we are celebrating them this month. But today's future, we are talking women in business. That's why we've given them an opportunity to just tell us a little bit about what they do, so that you can totally believe that really there are women in business this morning. So ladies, we want to just have a conversation this morning about your experiences in business. And the objective really is to see if there's someone we can inspire to either start that business or to keep going in business, as well as advice and tips on how you've succeeded, how you've overcome challenges, because every problem is a human being away. Every problem that we have, a human being carries the solution, either through knowledge or their actual experience to be able to solve it. So that's what we are hoping to do just today. So if you're there, you are viewers, we would like to give you an opportunity to just share your comments in the chat. Let us know what you think, what you feel. If you have anything to add, if you have your experiences to share, we want this to be as interactive as possible. Go ahead and tell us what you are thinking. But just as we kick into it, how did you get into business? Have you always been business oriented? Is it something where you saw an opportunity? How did each and every one of you get into business? We'd like to start with you, Dr. Barbara. Had you always been, because you've told us you're a teacher, but now you're a principal, CEO, founder. So were you always that person that wanted to start business? Tell us a little bit about your story. How did you get into business?
Thank you so much, Sharon. Looking at how Victorious Education Services started, I did not think about business. I was training to finish up my education as a teacher. What I was looking out for was to get into a traditional school. That's what I want. I wanted to teach in one of these church-founded schools. And immediately after qualification, I went to these schools to look out for a job opportunity. And they all turned me down.
Wow.
And the reason was, you do not have experience. Others, you are not an old girl or old boy of this school.
Really?
We really want to have people that can push our vision and know it, our values, and you are not part of this. So I ended up in a private school, which was not my dream at all. As I ended up in there, I was also in Sunday school, looking after children every Sunday, teaching. And I realized that the children I was teaching were really so loving, so warm, and I needed to do more with them. I was directed that these children need to be guided by my director, God.
Wow.
Go and establish a
Yes.
school where these children will be handled well. And those were children between 3 to 5 years. And I had trained to teach secondary school, not that age. So it was
Yeah.
quite a very, very big turnaround in my life, because I am out there to go and begin what I have never thought about, what I had not been trained to do. But I had one qualification: love for them. I loved them, and there I went out to establish this school 25 years ago with about 3 children, or about 30 children, 3 members of staff. And to date, we have grown to 6 campuses, over 4,000 learners across the campuses. We have an online campus, which was never a dream that I had.
That you had, yes.
Thank you.
Wow. Imagine, from just 30 students, now we are looking at 4,000 of them 25 years later. What a story. Yes, Florence, how did you get into it? You just told us about your mom and your
Yeah.
dad and this business.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Sharon. So for me, I'm going to try and summarize it. After, when I was wrapping up university, my father started speaking about me joining family business. But like any young graduate, I had my dreams, and my dream was to work for the United Nations. So, so when he kept on mentioning these things, I was just like, I studied international relations. I'm going to United Nations. So eventually, at first I kept quiet, and then I told him, I was like, I told my father the truth. I'm like, you know what, Daddy, the truth is me. I want to work for the United Nations. You know, I did, because I studied international relations, and ideally, like, then we met all, and it didn't help that towards the end, we kept on meeting like people who are working in the African Union, UN, to come to our university to tell us about, you know, their work experiences, and they
Yes.
sounded so cool. So I was comparing that to a family business, and I was
Selling
like,
tales. You are like,
no, 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 no. So he listened and was like, it's okay. And then so he speaks to his friend, who at that time was working at the UN office in Entebbe, and asked her like to help me write my application, go over my CV. And that's something I actually appreciate about my father and my mother. Like, they were not like, we're going to force it on you, but they're like, okay, you go and see, and then you'll come back and tell us. So we did the application. I didn't even get a "we regret to inform you." I was blue ticked by the United Nations. They didn't say anything. So I'm like, oh. And then I was like, okay, UN, maybe it will come. But I kept on sending my applications, nothing. And then a friend connected me to a job in Kampala. So I went for the job because I was like, I am not doing family business. I have my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, and I don't see family business anywhere. So I got to the job, and it was hard. We used to work Monday to Saturday, and then on Sunday as well, half day. Monday to Saturday, 8 to 8 p.m. Sunday, would work, I think, like up to, but at the very start we also have to work till like 8. So technically you didn't have a life. And I remember one of my friends telling me, they better be paying you millions for you to be sitting here at this job and you're working like this. And they were not paying me millions. So I just smiled, because I was like, no, you don't say my salary. And so eventually it got too draining, and then I had to quit. So I was like, you know what, and I told my boss that I'm leaving. And so I didn't tell my father, because I'm like, first, the UN thing, I didn't get any response. Now this job, I have left. And now, so, but he kept on seeing me at home. So one of those weeks, he asked me, he's like, come, I've not been seeing you going to work. Is everything okay? And I told him the truth is I left. He laughed at me. He laughed at me and he said, I knew it. I knew it. And I was like, and I was just looking at him like, so these are the prayers you've been saying for me. And he's like, no. And he's like, no, Florence, I want you to understand that these things that me and your mother have put up, we're putting them up for you guys to take on after us, right? And also, like, these are your things. So that's why they are here. If you don't take them up, then who will? And so he gave me a good offer. It was a good offer because when they've not been paying you millions and then someone's giving you 1 million, you're like, yeah, right? So I was just like, yeah.
I'm ready. When do I start?
I'm ready, yeah. So I started the first family business I was a part of. I went there, but it was not really, I thank God my parents had multiple businesses, but it was not really, I don't know, it just wasn't doing it for me. And then when they were going to now start early wears, which was 5 years ago, the moment he spoke about early wears, I've noticed that since childhood, I've always been those people who like appreciate clean bathrooms. And it only hit me recently, actually. I was like, by the way, like for me, a beautiful bathroom is a thing. And so when he spoke about early wears, I was like, that's a good one. Like it excited me. And he's like, yeah, I knew this would excite you because at home, my mom, I'm the one should call to clean her bathroom. When I'd clean it, she'd be happy with how I've cleaned it. To this day, like there's a particular way I want my bathroom to look and things like that. But anyway, so we start early wears. When I get there, he's like, it's a new business. And because I want you to learn how business works, we're going to actually cut your salary. But I was not, I was okay with it because I was excited about the beautiful toilets, the beautiful, you know, bathtubs and everything, right? And also because I like Pinterest. So, yeah, so we get there and we start. Everything was going well, but I was more my dad's daughter. Everything he said we're doing, that's what we were doing. So in 2020, when my dad passed because of cancer, there was sort of like a vacuum because up until that point, he was the one guiding me. But what I hadn't noticed was like in his guiding me, he was actually mentoring me, right? So 2020, February, I had that uncomfortable reality of like, actually, this business has to continue running. And because you're the one who has been working with him, you're going to have to actually ensure that the vision that he had is maintained. And so for me, that's how I got into business. So basically right now, it's just still trying to continue that legacy, still maintaining that vision continues. Yeah, in summary.
Yeah. Very interesting. So if there's a parent there listening, you want your children, I think we've learned something from Florence's parents. Dr. Jen.
So of course for me, as a medical doctor, the traditional business is a clinic. So way back, and that's the usual side hustle for most
doctors. Yes.
Doctors. So as soon as I was able to work, and I had a clinic in Entebbe. I was getting money from the clinic. In fact, it was doing so well that at one time we were the ones offering services to the then Uganda Airlines.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
So that side of the traditional medical business, I was very good.
Yeah.
I was very good.
Yes. So
Didn't last long, of course, because then sometimes you have to choose whether to run a clinic or to follow your professional passion.
yes.
And I was in health research. It was very difficult to combine the two. So eventually I think my clinic died a natural death. And then I got into research.
Research. Yeah.
But just step back, I was like maybe 32.
Yeah.
I had just returned from doing a master's in epidemiology. I had already done my diploma in public health. I had my medical degree. So that compartment of my skills was full. I was very highly qualified.
Yeah.
Yes. So then as I was returning from UK with my master's, my mentor in UK and some other officials told me, you go back and settle, but we are following you because we want you to lead a research program in Uganda. Okay, fantastic. 3 months after I arrived, a big delegation came and said, we want you to, AIDS was just beginning. That was in 88 or 89 there, 88 actually. So they come, Ministry of Health, State House, everywhere where we needed signatures, we got them to establish this big research program, which was going to do research in the field, in rural areas, particularly the Masaka area,
Yeah.
build some headquarters in Entebbe at the Uganda Virus Research Institute. They selected a head to head with me, so we were co-heading. This was some Dutchman, God rest his soul, maybe 2 years older than me. He had also done the same masters I had done. And we were given this responsibility to head the program. First budget, £500,000.
Wow.
Without a proposal or anything. Just you start, we are here. That's when my tears started. That's when I realized that you can be so heavily loaded on the hard skill side,
Yes.
but you have no
Nothing
single
else
clue
on this other side.
on
Yeah.
this other side. I did not even know how to speak the way I am speaking now. Nobody ever taught me. My thinking was technical. I did not know how to build a team. I did not even know how to sit somebody at a job interview and select the best.
Wow.
You know, I had no skills on this side at all. Tears. I never shed tears because I couldn't do the job epidemiologically. It was because how do I handle an LOC villager to negotiate with them, to give us a piece of land, to build a clinic. How, it was always this other side which no one had grown
I never
me.
told you. I
Nobody.
taught you about.
Apart from good manners I had got from my parents, I didn't have anything on that side. Did I manage? Of course. But I have scars. I learned by mistakes.
The worst way to learn.
Yes,
Yeah.
the worst way to learn.
Yeah.
I did that for 10 years. So the Medical Research Council Uganda Virus Program in Entebbe, which is now huge, I'm the one who started it.
Wow.
Only armed with one side of my skills,
And
the
struggling on
other
this
one
side.
struggling.
Negative.
And back then I vowed that as long as I will be able to change something,
Yeah.
nobody should go to work when they can't do the job.
Yeah.
Because even if you are a good accountant and you don't know how to talk to people, and you don't know how to hold your emotions, and you don't know how to critically think, you don't know how to solve problems, what sort of accountant are you?
Yeah.
What sort of epidemiologist was I?
Yeah.
Do you know now, it's 40 years ago. But my business idea
Started
had
then
already formed.
at that point.
Had already
Wow.
formed at that.
There was a problem.
There was a problem. As I scanned the world, because I worked for the World Health Organization for many years, I worked for the Wellcome Trust for many years, I lived abroad for many years, I could see the difference between how people think and behave soft skill-wise in developed countries and how people think and behave soft
Back at
skill-wise
home.
back at home. And
Yeah.
it always pained me,
Yeah.
always pained me. So I registered this company even before I was ready to deliver. I registered it in 2013 when I still had 5 years to work.
In your contract, yes.
But I knew.
Wow.
Yeah. So as soon as I retired in October 2018, third March, I was already on the ground.
Wow.
doing
My
this.
birthday.
And
Did
here,
did I think of it as a business from the beginning? Certainly not. But as I interacted with people, as I talked with people, people said, no, structure it like a business. If you structure it only like a social enterprise, you are going to be having to beg donors for money,
yes,
to
yeah.
be always asking for this. And then I tell you, people, much as they like free things, they don't appreciate them.
Yes,
We
yeah.
don't
The value, yes.
So at the beginning, I gave some free trainings just to entice people. But now I will charge you one, maybe traditionally 50K, 10K for use.
Just for you to invest in yourself.
But
Yeah.
something
Yes, yeah.
demonstrate that you really value
Yes.
the skill which you are
Obtaining.
obtaining.
Mm.
Is it working as it should be? It's too early days, but we are getting there.
You're getting there.
More and more people are coming forward and paying something little for the service and appreciating what
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
So for me, joining BNI was obviously to open my eyes more, but also to make the linkages and contacts and connections that I need. I'm also a writer. I believe that you can teach through writing.
Yes.
Currently, what has been circulating is my autobiography, but very soon I'm going to release a book on the 12 fundamental soft skills for individual, business, and life success. It's just they are dotting the last dots. So again, I will be teaching through writing. So that's going to be also. And then you can sell the books.
You
and
can
the
sell
money
the books.
from the books can also
Support the
run,
business.
can run the company. But it's also another method of teaching.
Of teaching,
Yeah.
because other people can buy the book and
Yes,
teach in
and-
their
and teach in
organizations.
in
Yes,
their
so
own-
the information is going
in
out.
their own
Yes,
organization.
yeah.
And maybe finally, because this whole sector of soft skills functions at the moment piecemeal. So me, I teach you to be a good speaker, one person. Another one, I teach leadership. Another one, I teach teamwork. Another one, I teach this. Another one, I teach this. There's no umbrella organization
That where
which
everything.
brings everything together. So I have been pushing, and we are almost there, to form an association for soft skills development.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Yes.
But like
yeah.
whenever you start something, the burden falls with you. Right now,
Yes, the burden
I'm
is with
the
the vision
founder-
bearer.
I'm the founder, president.
Secretary Treasurer.
But we are looking at really organizing this sector. Companies which work in this sector will remain working the way they work, but quality control, who is looking at that? If you are working like this, each one of you is giving a different certificate. How can we give different certificates? How can we work as a sector? Because I think unless we all work together, like this is not doing it, and I'm really passionate about coordinating it and bring it all together. Is that a business? Who knows? Associations make money. Really, associations
Yes,
make
they do. Yes, they do.
associations make money. So I'm hoping that the Association for Soft Skills Development will also be able to financially
Yes.
support itself.
Wow.
So that's me and my soft skills business.
All right.
Sharon,
okay.
do you
Thank
know,
you. Yes.
Dr. Jen reminds me of Gina Carey. He says, a strong woman is the one who looks at a challenge and gives it a wink.
Yes.
That's exactly
what she
you've
did.
done.
Yeah. Yes. And speaking of which, now that you mention it, Dr. Barbara, we're just going to go into it. You've been in business for 25 years. Yes. And people might be amazed because here you are, a teacher, started a nursery school, never had the dream, just heard from God saying, this is what I need you to do. What have been some of those winning strategies you feel have led you to 25 years now? Those are some of the things, because they say, you know, businesses in Uganda don't make it to their first birthday. We're the most entrepreneurial nation, but the first birthday is a challenge. The second, the fifth, the 10th, you know, even harder. So what are some of these winning strategies that women in business can pick up from and say, you know, try some of these things and see what you can, or even avoid this, look out at the corner, this is coming. you know, it's a strategy as well, looking at the corner and seeing what's there. What are some of those that in your experience?
Thank you. I began this institution in prayer, and I have maintained it in prayer. Most of the things we do are through insight, revelation, God really guiding and showing you that this is what you can do. The other is having the passion.
All right.
Like I said before, I love children. Now, teaming up with people who are passionate about children, they will give them the best, and you just have referrals come in. By the way, now as we celebrate 25 years, we have started educating the grandchildren. In which way? Our own students who began are bringing for us their
Wow,
children.
oh yes.
Because they think this is the only place their children can be loved and taken good care of. Then also the other is having a system. What is the system of doing what you are doing? That is how it has enabled us to have other campuses run, not only to have one campus, but you find that all the other campuses, whatever we do, is similar, because the system guides everyone that is doing that. Then also the other thing that has really been so significant in this growth is listening to the clients. The parents in victorious have made victorious, because when the kindergarten began, I heard the Lord tell me, look after these children, establish a center where my name will be glorified. I didn't know that this journey will go to where we are. The parents began asking for a primary school as we were doing kindergarten. And there was this particular year, 3 parents just refused to take their children to keep primary 1 schools. Because I would even go and get schools for them. But they said no.
They are staying here.
Yes.
In top class.
So in primary 1. So we forcefully began. They forcefully made us begin a primary school.
Yes.
Then when it reached the boarding school, the parents started requesting for boarding. Every meeting would have, can we start a boarding school? Can we start? And I never had a dream of that. I did not like boarding school. Because I went to boarding schools in my primary, during my primary education. So I really didn't want to do this. And I was now talking to them and saying, do you know what you're taking your children to do? Be with your children, nurture them. But I discovered the numbers were losing between 300 to 350 children every year.
Yes.
So when we announced to the parents that we have bought land, that land was meant for a secondary school. They all were so excited and said, now here comes the boarding school. And to tell you, the boarding is there and it's full. Listening to the client's need. What are your customers telling you? Because sometimes you have a product, you have a service, and you think that's what they need. But when you listen to them, they will be able to direct you to what exactly they need. So those are some of the things that have really been our winner. But also along the way, we have had challenges. One of the challenges I realized immediately we started was children need a lot of a brain. They need a brain to research, to reflect on what is happening in their life. It's not just a matter of having a kindergarten curriculum and you're teaching, using it as your mode of delivery. But now the children that have come to you, who are they? What are their challenges? What are you exactly doing to make them a winner in whatever you are doing? I realized that these people who go for 6 months training and they have become kindergarten teachers may not work for us very well. And also I realized in the 90s, 1999, early 2000s, that most of the teachers in the kindergarten where I have stopped in S4, go and do a 6 months course.
Yeah.
So when I now was trying to engage to see, you find out, reflect, look at this child. How can we best meet
Yes.
the need? We are not understanding each
They were
other.
not getting
They were
it.
not getting
Yes.
me. They were looking at me and saying, this woman is thinking secondary because she's a secondary school teacher. But now the thing that helped me, I started speaking to graduates and talking to them and say, you know, because at that time people were telling me, you're demeaning us. It's like your school dropout to be in a kindergarten. But I now started encouraging the graduates, teachers, please, if this is your field, come and we nurture a generation. Because with your skills, with the exposure you have, we'll be able to give the best to the children. And in fact, what I can say, the level of exposure in education of an individual is best to be taken in the foundation. Because
yes.
when you get the foundation
At that
right,
level, yes.
then
the
everything
building comes out better.
Yes.
More
So
secure.
I also, it was a challenge, but it helped. In this country, now I can stand and say, I have contributed to that department because many graduates, many people with the masters now have known that we can give a contribution in that area.
At that level,
Yes.
Yeah.
Though when they come, they do not know what to do, but as you keep helping them out to understand, you orient them and help them to understand, it becomes very easy for them to adopt to it and give you the best than the one who is not exposed to that level.
Yeah.
The other is, you know, when you begin a business, many times people want money. But me, in my prayer closet, God asked me, what do you have? Because at that time, I had 1 million shillings, which wouldn't do much. And he asked me, what do you have? I started scanning myself and I discovered, oh, I have passion. I love children. I have skills to handle them. And money was now a secondary thing. But still, when I went to get this money, they were asking me for collateral. A girl of about 26, 25, you're asking
Which
her
one does she have?
for collateral.
Yes, yeah.
Where does she have the money to own that? I didn't have anything. But I just had that passion, and I told them, I'm passionate, and I know what I'm doing. I will do it well. Trust me with your money. They never trusted me with the money. And they also asked me, who are the directors, the proprietors in the school? I told them,
you're looking at them.
I am the one. And they looked at this young girl and they never believed. But 25 years down the road, if I now walked to the bank and just told them that I have this project, I think it will pass easily. Then the other challenge I had was mentors. You would look around and say, which woman can I go to? How can they help me in this? And it was very difficult to find them around. In this generation, you, Florence, you are lucky. You have many around you. And when I try to do this, you go maybe to a school, you want to benchmark, you want to learn, and people are closed.
Hiding,
They are not sharing. And it's something that I told myself. I will always give my best to someone so that they don't go in the ditch that I went in. Because I went into there and began looking and finding my true north well in the business, which was very difficult. So those are some of the challenges and also the great things that has happened in this 25-year journey.
Because it's because of those challenges that you're what you are. By overcoming them, you are able to continue scaling and overcoming all these things. So thank you very much. And I think back to you, Florence. Now she actually led us into our next conversation. You've listened to all her challenges. What was the value? What has been the value of learning from someone? Because your opportunity, you had an opportunity to learn and then do. What do you think that has done for you compared to, say, Dr. Barbara's story, what she went through?
Okay, so for me, I'm so thankful that my dad, I got the opportunity for him to actually show me how this business works.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, 2018, he was so insistent on me tagging along on the trips to introduce me to our different suppliers, right? And so I'm like, and that was like the first time my father had done that. Like before, I'll just hear, okay, we are going here, and then he'll share pictures. What do you think about this toilet? What do you think about this design? Things like that, and I'll just tell him. But 2018, he was like, we're going together. I need to introduce you to the suppliers. I need you to speak to them. I need you to ask them questions. I need you to tell them, this is your business. What sort of product do you want? You get. So when we went there, I'd look at him and he's like, ask the question. And I'm like, so how much is this toilet? And then, but yeah, so anyway, so he kept on asking, and then I remember it was a lot of work, but when I look back, I know that that was also God just trying to make sure, because 2019 is when he got that diagnosis. 2019 around March, that's when he got that diagnosis that he had stage 4 throat cancer. And it went downhill from then, right? So now it was me in touch with the suppliers because he couldn't do it, right?
Yes,
And so it's me who just, he couldn't speak because properly towards the end. And so you just type a message, call this person, text them, ask them this question. And I think because we had gone, it was easier for me to have those conversations with them. But yeah, so then when he passed, it was very daunting because, you know, you have like a covering, eh? Like, even if I have a mistake, like make a mistake, I have a covering, like who is going to, like, you know, like someone who's going to proofread your work. And now when my dad passed, I was like, there was no one to proofread my work. And so for me, that was very, very, very tough because I wasn't sure if I'm doing the right thing. I had so many questions, like much as yes, he had, you know, like taken time to teach me all these other things. There's so much I didn't know about shipping, about pivot. What is that even? So I'm like, now, like, these are things that I'm like, these ones he didn't teach me. Now what should I do? But I feel like because of that, when COVID came and we're not allowed to travel, because I had the opportunity in 2018 to build relationship and rapport with the suppliers, in 2020 it was like we didn't have any issues with ordering stock and getting it here because now they knew who I was, and even me, having gone with my father, I knew how to bargain. And also, like, I'll just be able, I'm like, no, we're not taking that, we want this. Like, I knew how to, like, okay, ask, but also how to also guide the team on, like, yeah, let's do this, let's do that, things like that. So 2020 we didn't really struggle. So I remember people kept on asking, how are you guys getting your product? And I'm like, no, we're in touch with our suppliers. They're like, do you trust them? Do you know them? Because for most people, they had to move to a digitized way of doing business, but they would have to go by faith because they've not met
They
these
had never
people.
met these people.
So you just have to trust and believe that whatever you're discussing is what you're going to
actually receive.
Whereas on our part, I'd met these people, right? I knew what to expect. I also had known how they think because, like, obviously you'd be there and then you're speaking like your local language, your father. It's like, this is how he does his business, but now you have to be tactical like this. So, things like that. So it helped us, like, be able to, like, just navigate that space smoothly. So for me, that was the greatest advantage. But my greatest disadvantage was also just when he left, I felt like I had no covering. Like, I had no covering whatsoever, and it was hard.
It was hard.
It was really hard.
Yes,
really
but it was
hard,
definitely much better than if you had. If you had been at the UN sitting and they're like, now Daddy has gone, it's time, you know.
No. Actually, think about it, and I'm like, if we had not gone through that phase of being trained, Eliwares would not be here today. Because at least I got a feel of how the business runs, what is expected, how to, like, maintain it. But also my dad used to read a lot. So when he died, my first thing, I was like, what? I don't know so much, God. What should I do? Like, where, you know? And immediately I just started, plug into growth spaces, because that's what my father used to do. Like, you can't be like, this book, you should read it. And he got this book, read proposal from someone who had told him like, yeah, so he was part of like so many growth spaces.
Yes.
So like so it was hard, but it helped.
That was
Yeah.
that
It
you had
really
somebody
helped,
to
yeah.
hold your hand and to teach
Yes,
you even
yeah.
before the time
Yeah.
came. It was a lot easier.
Yeah, it was
yes.
easier.
Even with the most super mentor, there are some challenges you'll have to overcome
Yes,
on your own.
on your
The
own,
mentor
yes.
cannot help you and prepare you
Yes.
100%,
Actually-
but there are those small
Yes,
things
actually,
that they
now
will.
the biggest
Yeah.
thing that no mentor would help me with was grief,
Mm.
because everyone experiences grief in their own way.
Yeah.
And the thing about grief is like it doesn't warn you when it's coming. Like tomorrow we are coming at 8 a.m. No,
Yeah,
it will just show
shows
up,
yes.
or you'll see something that just reminds you, and then it's just the whole
yes.
everything you know.
Yeah, so it was a lot
So,
harder because you're
yes.
grieving and there's a business to take care
Yeah,
of.
so I
Yes.
had to like sort of bottle up emotions, which is not recommended, but like I didn't necessarily grieve properly.
Yes.
And then I had to pay for that much later on. But yeah, grief, no mentor can help you with
They
that
can't,
one.
yes.
Yeah.
There's some
Except
mountains
God.
you must climb. Yes, with
Except-
you and God.
God, yeah,
You
because
must- you
only
must-
he
yes.
understands really
Exactly
the
where
core
you
of
are.
that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Jane, I don't know if you can speak into that, or in your experience, because you started a business, went back to work, now you're full-time in a business. What did that do for you as a business person? What do you feel has done for you, in the sense that for you had the opportunity to work as well as then do business? What did it bring for you? That now that you're doing business now full-time,
Yes.
what has it done for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think it really depends what you're selling.
Mm.
And I say this without any wanting to discredit anyone.
Mm.
I think when you're selling products, things that somebody can touch,
Mm.
that somebody can look at, that somebody can compare
Yes.
and negotiate a price,
Yeah.
and pick what they think is best for them and go, is a lot different than when you are selling self-development.
Yeah, intangible.
Yes, because it is so
Yeah.
intangible. And it's very easy for somebody to be comfortable in their mediocrity. Not only comfortable,
unaware,
but
ignorant.
even unaware.
Unaware,
Yes.
yes.
Even unaware.
Yeah.
And then there is also a tendency to say, let's go as it is.
Yeah.
Because you are selling, I am not selling just soft skills. I'm selling change. I'm selling you to be able to change yourself,
Yeah.
to change your workforce, to change your children. I'm selling to the universities to change. And selling change
It's hard
hard.
because nobody likes
Because nobody likes
likes
change.
change. Yes.
So for me, that has been my dilemma.
Yes.
How do you sell change?
Mm.
Because people will say that, I know there is a problem with my workforce, but man, it worked last year, it's fine now.
Yeah.
We will be
Don't rock the
okay.
boat.
Don't rock the boat. And others will say, I will fix it my way.
Yeah.
But they never get around to fixing it anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we are all operating, at least business people, in my view, we are all getting 40%
Yeah.
of our workforce capabilities.
Yeah.
The lucky ones may be getting 60%, but nobody is really getting
Pushing to get to,
pushing to
yeah.
get
to get the the most out
to
of
get
this
the
person.
maximum.
Yeah.
So when I come to say, let's push together, because I don't want to take over the role, I want to work with you so that we can improve your workforce. Very few people say, oh, the enthusiasm all of a sudden. And then when it comes to, do I pay for development of this nature,
Okay.
or do I pay for more goods which I'm selling?
Yeah,
Because my
yeah.
business says, so the choice is easy.
The goods.
The choice is easy. So let me
Yes.
stock up more. So in
Yes.
fact, that's
Not
why
realizing that you might stock up on these people who
Yeah.
you have not trained,
No.
cause a loss, and even the goods.
what you don't realize is the
Yeah.
person who comes to your workplace and steals your computer is a thief, yes, cameras can catch them.
Yes.
But the person who comes late every day, the person who
Yes.
fails to meet deadlines every day,
will cost you a lot
the person
more.
who doesn't
Yeah.
solve problems and just presents you a list of problems for you to solve,
Is-
the person who is gossiping in the office and seeding bad blood and telling people this is
Yeah.
not my uncle's business, the person who is working only just
10%.
to reach the mukolo, to function just
Yes,
the
the bare minimum.
is a worse thief than the
Than
person
the guy who
stole
breaks
the
in.
computer. Or even
What
the worst-
what a way to put it. What a way
Yes.
to put the importance
But
of skills.
how do you convince people that they should invest in this type of approach? Even I tell them that look at places like China, Vietnam, Japan. Now Europe is also waking up. Australia woke up long ago. They are investing in soft skills because they know
They now understand.
that while cameras will catch the other thieves,
There are these other subtle
these
thieves.
other subtle thieves are worse.
Hours, and sometimes it's the business owner yourself. You don't have the skills
business
to
owner, by the way,
actually,
is
yes.
one of the
So you're the one who's
biggest-
killing your own business.
Yes.
And for women, we do face a lot of those things. We are not,
Yeah.
sometimes we're not fully self-aware,
Yes.
of our
Yes.
challenges.
Yes.
Yes, and I remember we were having a conversation, someone saying, you're treating the people at home like they are your business people, or the people at the business as if they are your children at home, as in it's just a mess
A
because
mess,
of,
yeah.
of
So
some
for
of
me,
those
5
things.
years into
Yeah.
the business, and I look at Dr. Barbara and I admire 25 years into the business.
Yes.
I have faith that we shall get there, but for now, it's real selling change,
It's not
hard.
easy. Yes,
Hard.
it's never been.
but
yes.
it's not impossible.
Yes, it's never been since time immemorial. Even when Moses was trying to take the Israelites, he
Yes.
had to take them some signs.
Yes.
The guy sent me. We are going,
Yes.
he
Yes.
had to sell a
Yes.
God that, had been quiet for years and they were
Yeah.
suffering.
It's hard
So,
to
yes.
sell,
Yeah.
to sell change. But that being said, I think if the problem is well clarified, and that's also a problem, how you clarify this problem is also not easy. And I think if you target the people who are amenable to change, and you also target the people who have capacity to pay, because sometimes you want to pay and you don't have the capacity. I think I still would advise that even if you are the type of business who is selling change, still be clear. What's the solution? What's the problem you are solving?
Define that
What's
clearly.
the solution you are
Yeah.
offering? What target? Whom are you targeting? Target somebody who can pay. What exactly is your solution? I think we can still sell change. We can
Yes.
still sell change. Now, finally, the example I give is like building muscle. You can't build muscle power in a short time.
In 24 hours.
In 24 hours. You will just get muscle aches. That's you
Yeah,
will come back
the-
with muscle
yes,
aches
yeah.
and injuries, but you won't build
Yes.
muscle power.
Yeah, and it's
So-
a little by little and you
Yes.
keep getting
So for
better.
me, the partners I go in, of course now it's one-off, but I want to encourage that it becomes a continuous effort.
Yeah.
Just like you are selling change to start with, but also you can't build muscle power by just one big injection. Because people give me one session and they say, oh, it was so wonderful. Thinking like now by the time I leave,
Dr.
their
Jane,
workforce
please.
will be fixed.
We have said all those statements. Please don't shake our tables here during the interview. It's a continuous thing.
It's a continuous thing.
It's not
It
a
takes time.
magic pill
It
of
takes,
one.
Yeah, it takes time, but hard skills, soft skills, married together in a workforce is the best solution for
yes, a
every
more
business,
productive.
for every family, for every school, for everybody.
All right,
Yeah.
yes. And I had even forgotten our people online, forgive me. I just want to recognize some of the people that are listening in live. There's Lois, there's Patty, there's Doris Smithy, Elaine, there's Phoebe. I mean, there are people are online. There's Ruth, there's Sharon, my namesake, there's Sheila, there's Isabella. I would like to send greetings to all of you. Susan, really from everybody that is here, thank you for tuning in and for just sharing your insights they're all sharing their insights, what they're loving, what they're taking away, and so that's really, really nice. But I would like to shift it a little bit, because we are women in business, but women have all these gender roles around them. You're a mother, you're a sister, you're a daughter, then you're a business owner. I mean, how are you people navigating that challenge? You're a wife. How are you navigating the challenges of trying to, juggle those balls together, all those balls, the gender roles? But also, in addition to that, you're showing up in spaces, some of them traditionally male spaces. Yes. How are you managing this as women in business, even as your businesses are growing? What are some of those, maybe one tip from each of you, what you've done to be able to win both at a family level as well as business? Because many times there's a challenge there. But also in the boardrooms, in these business meetings, in the conversations, what are some of these things you're doing as women? Because sometimes we show up for these meetings as women, and you're having conversations with, these men who are probably more assertive, more aggressive. The way they play is different, and you've come here as a nurturer. I'm a teacher, and you're showing up here to negotiate some of these big deals in the bank. How are you managing some of those? Over to you, Dr. Barbara, as we come down the road.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
First and foremost, when a woman gets into the boardroom, I want to discourage us. Don't do the work of serving tea. Because people are discussing.
Yes.
I am a nurturer, and that will naturally come in.
Yeah, you want to make people
want to start serving tea. That is not your role. You have come to add value to that organization.
Yes.
So I am not saying we are at the same level with men, but our roles are the same at that time. At
that point, yes. Yeah.
So that is something that we need to recognize, that what is the value I'm going for in this meeting? If you're called for a meeting, if you're going to chair a meeting as a CEO, as a director of your company, don't just sit and say, I know everything I will do. Sit down and plan.
Yeah.
Look at exactly what your organization is going through and what is the problem that you want to fix. Read around. Look out for examples, what you have done. When you speak, you will speak with authority. And the eye will not even catch the ones who are not serving tea, because you want to see the issue implemented.
Yeah.
Maybe the other thing as we need to do is also to keep ourselves informed, because people are looking out for solutions. When someone has a challenge, what is the solution? When you get into these associations, I'm glad Dr. Jane is thinking of an association. There are associations, there are organizations. Move out. Don't just be in your organization and say we are the best, we are among the best in education. What are others doing?
Yeah.
As you keep getting on to what others are doing, it adds also value on you.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are things that will even push you to go and do a 2-week, 1-week, 1-day training. And you will go and do. Like, if I have discovered I am not good at communication, then I'll catch up with Dr. Jane.
Exactly.
Say, can I have this coaching? Do this to me, and I will have value. So when you reach in this meeting, you are there listening in. You have also taken time to really read through. Sometimes we go to meetings when we have not read any information that has been given to us. Even in our organizations, there are minutes that have been recorded. Do you read them? Do you look out for possible solutions for them? Now, when you come here and you're engaging in those 2 hours or whatever, 1 hour, you already have your points that you want to put forth. And everyone will say, this woman is so bright. Yes. And the issue of a woman will not even be an issue. Yes. But the issue now will come on the face. We need so-and-so in this meeting. We need so-and-so in this meeting, because they will see value add because of your presence. Yes. So that is something that we really, really need to come to really make part of our lives.
Be intentional.
Whenever you are, be intentional that what value am I going to add to the space that I'm in.
Yeah.
And as a CEO, know that you are the vision bearer, you're up there. The whole institution, I tell myself, all these 500 plus workers are looking up to me, and they are looking for solutions, looking for guidance, looking for direction. If I don't empower myself, what will I give them?
Yeah.
When I don't give them anything of value, they will become the CEOs in the company, and they will start doing their own things, and the
Yes.
company will collapse.
Yeah.
But a visionary, as a business owner, look at your vision. Where do you want to be? Come 3 years, come 5 years. Begin looking out for ways, things that can begin to shape your journey, and you start giving them little by little. We don't give children food to eat one day to grow to 5 years. But each time we are giving them little by little. So you keep nurturing your company in that way.
Yeah.
And you'll be relevant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Florence.
Dr. Barbara is one of those people that speaks and you just like continue, please. So for me,
Yes.
the little experience that I have
Yes.
is just like Dr. Barbara said, it's important for you to stay in growth spaces because
Yes.
as a leader, it's important. It matters that you keep learning because you don't know everything, and sometimes you're one piece of knowledge away from hitting a milestone in your business, right? And so for me, one of the things that has really helped is just staying in growth spaces. I'm still in them because I still believe I still have a lot to learn.
Yes.
But they've helped me think about how to run the business, how to, for instance, now at Eliwares, we never used to celebrate people's birthdays. But I happen to have joined Harvest Institute I joined Harvest Institute, yes, 2021. And so they were teaching about servant leadership and just how to actually build relationship in the workspace, right? Because one of the things that I noticed was that, firstly, I kept second guessing myself with regards to the kind of relationship I had with the team because I am not my dad, right? But now you have to lead them. Now you have to get to know them on a deeper level, because my father was those people, like he would, like, how are you, like, let's
interpersonal skills were good.
He has great interpersonal skills, but that was also because he was taught, right? And so now I come into this space, I'm like, okay, and you could tell that, okay, much as yes, we had worked together, you know, like the stages of leadership, I hadn't gotten to that stage where the team trusts me enough to allow to be led, that even when I say this is what we are doing, they will willingly agree to it. So now I had to start from scratch, let's build this relationship. And so being in Harvest Institute taught me, like, okay, we started, like, it seems like a simple thing, but just celebrating someone's birthday made them feel valued, made them feel appreciated, made them feel seen. And it's something that we've continued doing. And I don't have to be the one to even be there, because now at work, there's a gentleman, Jonathan, is in charge of the well-being. He ensures that all birthdays are celebrated, even when I'm not present.
Yes.
But because even him, like, he enjoys it. Like, you can see that everyone is like, my birthday is coming up, and they're expectant. Do you understand? And you can tell that, yeah, if you do nothing here, you've
you've lost the tip.
But I feel like it has really helped us grow and become a sort of like a healthy working environment, because now I learned, like, okay, I have to actually build a relationship, not just impose. I am the leader, now I'm the boss, now you're going to do, no.
Yes.
Yeah, let's grow together. And then the other thing that I would also say is that allow your team to make choices. Empower them, because you're not always going to be here. Now I'm here, but Eliwares is running, it's not closed, right? Sales are going to be made, yet I'm here. But it's also something that I learned from the growth space, because also as a leader, your main focus should be filling your mind with knowledge, passing it on, and ensuring that your team actually carries out the things that you have taught, right? And so now I know, like, I'm not here and I'm worried. I'm like, her client is going to come in and they're going to greet him badly, or they're going to greet her, I don't know, in a funny way, or they're just going to tell her, we don't have those things. Do you understand? Like, I know it's going to be covered. I know they're going to get a quotation. like to this point now when someone says something, I'm like, okay, I get the details, I send them to one of the team members. I'm like, send this person a quote and let me know how it goes. Because as a leader, I'm learning that my goal should be learn more, pass it on, and empower them, right? And so now they even actually also speak to the suppliers. I'm like, show me the designs that you picked. What designs did you pick? And I'll be like, this is nice, this is no. But you're also empowering the team, because even me, I want to be like Dr. Barbara one day, where I can say that Eliwaz has 6 campuses, and you get it. But how are we going to have the 6 campuses if Florence is the only one that speaks to suppliers, that handles client relations? Do you understand that? Like, if I'm the only one that does all those things, we can't have 6 campuses, right?
Yes.
So you have to also, like, what you're learning as a leader, teach it to your team, and also empower and trust them to actually do these things. Because if you don't then trust them, you will affect, someone can tell when you're distrusting them.
Yes.
So they'll also just do the bare minimum, because they're like, I've not gotten that opportunity.
Let them do their thing.
Like, just, So yes, for me, I'd say for now, that's what I'm learning. But yeah, one day we'll be 6 campuses also.
All right. Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Jane.
Yes. So for me, I have been in boardrooms. Not only are you there as the only woman, but you are also there as the only black person, let alone woman.
It gets more complicated.
Yes, more complicated.
Yes.
You know. So, and Barbara, Dr. Barbara, you said about preparing. I have to emphasize that.
Yeah.
When you have, even if they send you documents this big for the board meeting, read them, spend the time to read them, to jot down, to actually emphasize what you are going to contribute. Me, I go in the mirror, I practice how I'm going to say it, because otherwise, if you don't practice,
Yeah.
The second point is never reach late. Especially if you are a woman, you come creeping in, you've already lowered.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how you will contribute. You've already lowered your possibilities by just walking in there. Go early, because then when you go early, you have interacted with these people over the coffee they take before the board meeting.
Before the real meeting starts.
So even your nerves are already calm. You've already formed a family of these people. You can speak with confidence. Every time I see a woman creeping in late, I feel sorry. At least that we can fix.
Yes,
we don't have
right
to
away.
have it late.
Yeah.
Never leave a meeting when you haven't said anything. Do you know so many women?
It's true. I know.
You haven't said one word. Reason is you didn't prepare. But so even if you are not prepared,
add to somebody.
I agree with Dr. Barbara. I have the same opinion as Dr. Barbara.
I second. She made a good point.
I made a good point. Actually, I'm going to propagate. But
find something to say.
The number of women
it's true.
Go, even you have bought them a ticket to go to New York.
They leave without saying anything the whole meeting.
They don't say anything. But another tip I would give, which I think is also hard, we all take notes. Isn't it? That's knowledge on paper. But if you don't take the time to take that knowledge from the paper into your brain, it only remains knowledge in the paper. And most of us have big notebooks stuck in our wound.
So many notes, knowledge. I know.
But we never took the time to remove it from the notebook
and do one of the things there.
So you are as much as you prepare before the meeting, also do some work after the meeting, so that you can translate that knowledge which is in these nice little things now we are buying into your brain. If it remains there, that's not
so it's useless. The same thing
that is going to help you. And then maybe the last thing is always thank the organizers. It doesn't matter you were invited just as maybe number 500 and something of the delegation. And now I'm talking like somebody who used to receive these letters. Somebody writes to you and says, thank you for organizing that meeting. Thank you for inviting me. I learned this, I learned this, I learned this, I learned this. In your brain, they get onto the next participant list.
Interesting. Yes, yeah.
They get onto the next participant.
You're not forgettable. They don't forget you.
Yes, you don't forget
because people are doing this.
Yes, yes. But just to say, I attended a meeting, I left. No, a small note. Thank you so much, thank you so much, thank you so much. You make sure you are getting onto the participant list each year. Just by giving this. I mean, I could go
no matter what meeting anyway, even
it
if
doesn't
it's
matter.
A meeting of an association, you know, even if it's a business meeting, even in BNI we do one-to-ones. After the one-to-one, say, you know, thank you for the one-to-one, I learned this. I think that's a good way. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
So I also just wanted to add, from my own personal experience, also believe in yourself. I think it starts with what you think about yourself. If you think less, it will be hard for you to even speak. Because at the back of your mind, you're thinking,
I have nothing
to offer. Like my voice does not matter. But women, our voices matter. And whichever position or place that you are in right now, you're not there by mistake, right? You're there for a reason. You carry something on the inside of you that space needs. So don't think less of yourself. Don't think less of yourself. Like, believe in yourself and believe that wherever it is that you are right now, you're there for a reason. Yeah.
Wow, thank you very much for that. But even as we wrap up, unfortunately, as it is like on always these panels, it's never enough time. A lot to say, but never enough time. Yes. So I just want you guys to just wrap up and give us your parting shot. We'll start with Dr. Jen as we go down all the way to your parting shot. It could be about anything, not necessarily what we've talked about, just something you've remembered. Maybe it's on family, just some bit of yes.
So I think one crucial situation that we find ourselves in as women is you have work, business, you have life, you have family. How do you juggle these balls in such a way that none of them drops, but all of them are in good shape? And that's something we struggle with. In fact, Barack Obama's wife, Michelle, said, some days are for your work, your business, some days are for your family, some days are for you yourself. It's a question of how you balance. And now I think we've moved away from work-life balance. We have now gone to work-life harmony. You may never balance.
The balance is a bit
and I think the more we stuck on balance, the more we frustrated ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's not about
because it's not possible as well.
It's not possible. It's not about balance. It's about harmony. So this evening, tomorrow morning on Zoom, I'm going to be leading a discussion as part of our Women's Day
celebration.
Let us sit together and discuss this work-life, family, harmony.
Yes.
What are your experiences? What can I learn from you? What are my experiences? What can I learn from you? Because I think until we as women, we figure that thing out, we shall nurse guilt to start with, but also we shall think failure, when actually it's not failure, it's because that day work took over.
Yes, you know? And it's okay.
And it's okay. And then we need to start thinking quality rather than quantity. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So I'm hoping that many of you listening to me will sign up. The sign-up link has been going round. And if you have it, share it with a fellow woman.
Yes.
The fee is only 50K, just to make sure that we have enough data and we have people for Wi-Fi. I mean,
those key things.
Those key things that you need to keep the system running.
Yes.
But my message is, try and find a way of learning these skills to ensure that you are in harmony. Not in balance. In balance will frustrate you.
Yes.
In harmony is what we are talking about. So I'm looking forward to having a chat with you tomorrow. It's between 10 and 12. If you don't have the registration link yet and the payment link, ask your colleague, pass it on, share it. Let us fill the room and let us celebrate together, but while learning at the same time.
All right, very nice. Thank you very much, Dr. Jen. Over to you, Florence.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Dr. Jen. So for me, my parting shot would be, it's a journey, it's not an event, especially when it comes to business, mothering, marriage. I think just following with what Dr. Jen started with, I think most times we have that pressure of like, let's hit this today. Must work out, everything must get solved today, right? But what I am learning also from the spaces that I'm in, now for instance, now like here, I look at Dr. Jen and I look at Dr. Barbara and even Sharon, and I think, I'm like, okay, these ladies have achieved so much, right? And they are 25 years in business, and right now I'm at 5. I shouldn't be putting so much pressure on myself to be at Dr. Barbara's level. Like
At 5.
At 5. Do you understand? You get? Because I feel like it's something that we struggle with. Like you hear Dr. Barbara's results, and you're like, I have to get there. But you don't know the sacrifices that she's made. You've forgotten that there's actually a process to 25. You can't skip 20 and then just get to 25. Do you understand? So what I want to just extend to the ladies that are watching this is that life is a journey. It's not an event. Remember to extend grace to yourself as you work towards your dreams. But also, I'm not saying that be complacent. I'm saying allow process teach you all that you need to know, such that whatever goal you set, when you achieve that milestone, you won't waste it, you know? Instead, you add on to it. Because obviously, it's 25 years now, but she's not going to stop there. She's going to continue, and it's going to continue to even generations after her, because if now she's actually teaching grandchildren, you know,
It's impressive.
even those grandchildren are going to grow up and bring their children. And I think any wife, any mom, any business woman out there would want that for themselves. But this is not something that is birthed from skipping process. It's something that is birthed from understanding that process has value, and allowing to go through with it, and extending grace to yourself as you learn. Yeah, because I mean, even S4, it took you 4 years to finish S4. Do you understand? So like, that should teach us something about life. So allow to go through the process, extend grace to yourself. You're actually doing a great job, because if you're to sit down and do inventory, you realize that you are not the woman you were last year. And that's something to celebrate. So we celebrate you. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Okay. Thank you very much, Florence. Over to you, Dr. Barbara.
Thank you so much. Mine is really, really on family. Whatever we do will rise, but it will all fall back to the family.
Yeah.
Money is good. It enables us to do what we are supposed to do. But at the end of the journey, do I have a relationship with my children? Do I have a relationship with my husband? How about the wider family? It's very, very key. As we look at our businesses, we are struggling, working so hard to attain whatever we are supposed to. Let's also work so hard to see that there is a relationship with our children. So that when we are old, these children never should not forget us and say, I don't, what am I going to do home? There is nothing I need. But each time, in their story, let's write their story. As we write their story, they will always be part of our lives.
Yes.
So let's look for the money, but also spend time building a family. Right now, I'm among the administrators of my late father's estate. And I'm thinking and saying, how do I bring up all these other children of the 12 siblings that I had? Because my father had all these children and wanted to see them all united. So what business can we do together as a family? Because when you do things together, it keeps you together.
Yes.
So those are things that we need to think of and begin building a relationship right from our little family in there to the wider family.
Yeah.
Then the other, I have seen ladies who have refused to give birth. Maybe they only have one child and they're telling you, it is too much work. Let me just have this one so that I can chase out for these other things. When you have become older, you will miss those children. I wanted to give birth to 10. And I have 4. And I really feel so bad because I had to,
Florence is in shock.
I had to make breaths. When I'm pregnant, I don't want to study because I want the child in me to have a very, the best environment, not to have the stress that I have, stress of work, stress of studying. So when I'm pregnant, I want that environment to also work in the child that I'm going to bear. So it really reduced on my numbers of the children I have. But I'm soon getting others. I still need to catch up at least halfway.
Yeah.
Not just to go off with that. Okay, why I'm bringing this, you do disservice to yourself by having that one child. You will be lonely, very lonely. How about if this child gets married to Korea?
I know.
In a global village.
It's true.
So when you have more, at least there will be one, who will stay around you and move with what you are doing.
Dr. Barbara.
Introduce your family to what you are doing.
Yes.
Sometimes your children maybe when they don't want anything to do with what you're doing, but sometimes it's because we are too busy and we show them that this business is me. Everything is about the business but not about them. Get the money from that business, take them to Serena and say, this money that we have worked for has brought here for a night. And you sleep there and they start looking and saying, oh, so this business can do this to us. Because we just spend all the time crying how there is no money and we are not giving them the time to be listened to.
Yes. Yeah.
As I wind up, family is key. Family is very important. Don't do things, women, behind your back, but behind your husband's back. It will never succeed. You will go do behind, look like you're moving. Even that house you have built in there will be taken away and you will come back to zero. Let's bond as a family. Let's move together and let our businesses be part of our family. Then we will have a generational thing happening in there. Even though when they're young, they're saying, I don't want. Me, I've seen now my boys have started looking in and saying, Mommy, what do you do? There is one who is in senior 5 and is telling me, do you know, ma'am, I'm considering to do education.
Wow.
I said, why? I thought I want to be a pilot, but I will go and fly and what next? Yet your business is here. So such conversations come because we intentionally calculate the relationship and also have the space for them. As we celebrate Women's Day, ladies, think family. Build your family. That is the gift you can give yourself and your family for generations. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much, ladies. Thank you very much for sharing your stories, your experiences as we celebrate Women's Day, as we celebrate the amazing women that are out there. There is nothing like a woman. It's the most beautiful thing ever. And we thank God for all the women that are tuned in, that are in business, that are working, that are raising home, children at home, stay-home moms. We celebrate every woman, whatever hat you put on when you're not raising and taking care of the family. We celebrate you. Even that woman who doesn't have your family, children you've had, but there's extended family, there's your mother, there are your sisters. So really, we just celebrate women. And this Women's Day, we want to tell you that strength and dignity are yours. You go out into the world, know that you're intelligent, that you're worth it, that your dreams are valid, and there's greatness in you, in each and every one of us as women. There's greatness, and the world is waiting for you. Do not listen to those voices that are saying contrary to what we are telling you this morning. Everybody has a story, everybody has what to give. And so this Women's Day, we celebrate all the women out there. So have a happy Women's Day. God
Happy
bless you,
Women's
and
Day.
go out there and win. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow.
All right, ladies.
Wow.